Alright, we have our first matchup of Overbots this week, and it's going to be a really interesting one here because if I can type it in. Okay, you know what? L versus M, because it doesn't want me to type again for some reason. Irritating. But oh, how did I deleted them all? Oops. Okay, so this is going to be LogiSwords versus MicroFish, I think. And I think this one's interesting because there's 2 tanks versus 2 DPS composition, and then it's 2 supports versus 2 tanks because there's 2 DPS on both sides. So it's a very interesting matchup here. We'll see how it goes. And this side has Hanzo and Reaper. One thing I do notice is a lot of these characters are really good at dealing with tanks. Azaria is pretty good at dealing with squishies though. So I'm wondering if that'll have any impact on this matchup here. Team that opted for no supports this year versus a team that opted for no tank. Very different lineups. So let's see, Brig. Actually, let's put in the DPS first. Let's see if I can find it. I'm tired, guys. It's gonna be a long day of overbots. And we got Briggs in. I'm gonna be starting on Busan. A very interesting match. So MicroFish, so LogiSwords and MicroFish. This is outside of division, so we won't be seeing this match again, more than likely, unless they both make it to playoffs. Possible. And meet up in the first or second rounds. But they both have to. So I guess it is possible we see this matchup again, but more than likely we will not see this matchup again. But the chance is always there that both teams make it into the same round in playoffs or something. So here we go. Something just fell behind my computer and I'm not sure what it was. Okay. MicroFish coming off of a win actually last week over Krusty Crushers. Kind of an unexpected one. Well, I mean, not unexpected. It was just a crazy matchup altogether. There was like every map was so one-sided in one. Like if you got your map, you were winning. Okay, not looking ideal here for MicroFish immediately. LogiSwords putting in work as they have continued to do. Last week, we saw a bit of this strength, a lot of damage. Coming out from this roster with 0 supports. Alright, I'm gonna wrap around here. Queen will be back to reinforce the fight. Genji's going a little 1v. Yeah, he's just gonna get beamed down there. Fortunately, going up against Zarya is gonna be very rough. If you are Genji. He's played against like all of his counters in the first couple weeks here, but he actually won against the team with 2 of them. They had Winston and Sim, and MicroFish still won that. But now you're going up against this tanky, one of his tanky counters here. Gonna engage on the back line. I think he's gonna go down though. Yeah. Sorry, has got his number today. Hanzo popping off, getting 2. LogiSwords a very solid team. Man, going with supports just doesn't seem... Supports might just not be the play over bots. It might be all about getting as much damage as you can on one team, just front-loading damage. Especially from what we've seen from LogiSwords. He did indeed just front-load damage. That's going to be 100-0 for LogiSwords on this first point. Looking great from them. Of course, MicroFish is technically front-loading damage. They have one of the best damage-dealing supports, and probably one of the only viable supports in this format. In Zen. That guy can do damage. Alright. I think we're going to be looking at this LogiSwords roster and thinking maybe a few more of these characters deserve to be higher on the tier list. I think Zarya might deserve a higher spot on the tier list, to be honest. And probably Queen. Hi, Jojo. My dog just peeked in through the door. He opened it with his little nose. Hi, buddy. Alright. Here comes LogiSwords. They traded out the... Yeah, but damage just keeps pumping through. They do manage to trade out the Zarya, but Hanzo just puts in so much work. I need something different here from MicroFish if they're gonna want to win a fight. Unfortunately, Genji just goes in and dies immediately to Zarya again. Chaser picks off the Hanzo, but too little too late here for MicroFish, I'm thinking. I'm surprised MicroFish has not made a trade with the Moldy Milkers for a tank. Moldy Milkers are a very good team, though. I don't know if they're going to be willing to give up any tanks. You might have to trade over the Zen if you do want that. That's probably not going to happen. This roster might be just stuck as the way it is. On Deathmatch, though, as we've seen before, it can excel against teams like probably my team and Krusty Crushers. Our teams are a little bit odd for some reason. Alright, he's just gonna go in. He is gonna get beamed down by the Zarya. Brig. Oh, MicroFish actually went in a fight here. There we go. No ults used either. I just love that. Maybe make MicroFish just stick it out. I think this team can be good sometimes. It just has a lot of damage with the Zen and the Genji and the Tracer. It just is a matter of... Here it's a little bit hard because they have 2 tanks. Trying to get through that is rough. Genji gets 2. Tracer versus Hanzo on point. Ooh, 1 HP. Do we see a touch here? Do we see a touch here from Micro? I don't think so. Wow. Hanzo versus Tracer on point to finish it, and Hanzo wins the 1v1. Despite being half HP, and that's how the map's gonna hit. That was crazy. LogiSwords up 1-0. Very solid squad. They do lose 1 fight at the end there. I'm thinking it makes it look a little bit more possible here if you're a MicroFish. These teams with front-loaded tanks are gonna be really difficult to deal with for MicroFish. They have these in, but like their DPS themselves aren't exactly great at contending with tanks. Oh my word. Unless it's like a Winston or something. For Tracer anyways. Okay. Hanamura. Okay, deathmatch. Okay, this is interesting. Because if you can't win here, if you're MicroFish, you're probably not going to win mini maps. But if you do win this series gets a whole lot more interesting for us. This is going to be chaos. So we got the winter version of Hanamura. Deathmatch map has returned. We'll see where the teams decide to spawn here. Let's see what the auto spawns does. Maybe like in those random places. Okay, so there is MicroFish. Oh, and there is LogiSwords. Okay. Zen just going in 1v. Oh, Tracer fell off the map. Oh, this is not a good start for MicroFish. They're at -1 kills. Unfortunately, LogiSwords is just so grouped up. MicroFish here. I gotta look at this Hanzo, man. Oh man, he's just picking them apart. Okay, like I said, if this one doesn't look close, I don't think MicroFish really have a chance in this series. And so far, it does not look close. Tracer needlessly killing herself at the beginning of the map does not help either, though. Okay. That's the start of something. But you need more than just 1 kill. Unfortunately, if you are... well, 0 kills, because the docked kill at the very beginning of this map. We're just getting eat like 8 alive. It's already 10-0. Four to 12, man. MicroFish are gonna have to go on an absolute tear here. I think they can. They have the potential to do it. It's just a lot of reliance on very inconsistent AI. Oh my gosh, Tracer getting 2 there. Alright, here we go. MicroFish are coming back in this. If they can pick up this queen without dropping anyone. Alright, alright. That's what you like to see from MicroFish. Changing the deficit to 4 is crazy. Brig is going in there, man. Brig's probably gonna die for this. Got a little bit aggressive there. Okay, Zen trading up this Zarya there. So you're down 6 again, because you lose that fight. Down 7 now. You do have some ultimates online here for basically everyone. Unfortunately, though, LogiSwords just getting a little bit more grouped up, taking some picks here for MicroFish. $21-10. Zen for Zarya. Ooh, Reaper gets 2 though, and this is extended back to like a 12-point lead. MicroFish almost able to make something of this map, but it's getting stomped right here. It's going in 1v4. These tankier rosters that just front load damage are usually very good. Sorry, I might go down here, but that's not gonna be quite enough to be gonna come back. You're still down 14 now, and Zen just goes down to extend that to 15 again. They do avoid the happy birthday of Reaper, but LogiSwords are only 10 kills away. Going up 2-0 in this one. LogiSwords a very powerful squad. Can't wait to see them up against teams like AI, and I think that they've already faced Rush Hour. That was a good one. Molly Milkers too. There are like at least 4 teams that are very strong this year, which is better than we can say last season. Last season it was pretty much only Krusty Crushers and LogiSwords that were the top that you could visibly tell. But I think this season you're gonna have LogiSwords, you're gonna have AI, and you're gonna have Moldy Milkers, as well as Rush Hour. All fighting for those top spots, and we will see. Those seems to be the strongest teams at the moment. And there we go. LogiSwords going up 2-0 in deathmatch. Losing deathmatch if you're MicroFish. Makes you feel like your chances in this one are dwindling quite a bit, to say the least. But this is a series, so we have another map to play. And we'll see if MicroFish can start up a reverse sweep here. Casti, another death match. So this match is about to be either very quick or have a stark turnaround right now. Alright, my bad. Not really paying attention. The fight's happening back here too. Oh no. I missed something. Brig goes down first. Sorry, it does fall. 1-for-1 trade. Not too much. Just a lot of pokes going on here. Another 1-for-1 trade. Oh wow, okay. Will lead the fight. LogiSwords getting 1 more kill at the end there. With only Reaper up. Brig just feeds into their ball here, and looks like Zen's gonna do the same. Not exactly what you want to see. Queen will go down. For getting himself a bubble. Alright, he does go down to Tracer. Tracer versus Zarya, however, Zarya just absolutely fries. She's charged up and ready to go. 11-5 already. MicroFish up looking a bit outgunned here against LogiSwords. They are gonna get one. I think MicroFish have the tendency to be very good against certain teams, but against, like, I think this team could be a thorn in the side of AI MicroFish, just because they're very similar. Although I think the damage from AI is just so insane. There's another team that does not have a tank, but it's one of the best teams in the league because there's 3 of the tankiest DPS. Alright. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna trade out the Genji, or Reaper will. Sorry, he's going to get traded out. But it doesn't seem to matter too much here. I think this is going to be yet another 3-0 in Overbot's history. Not a match to really go back and watch. Just a showing of why you need some tanky bodies at times. Especially against teams that have tanks. Well, AI, it's kind of the counter argument to that, I suppose. So I guess you don't always need tanks on your side, but gotta have an ample amount of damage to offset that. We're just gonna fall here to the Zarya. Thinking a Zen for a tank trade would go very hard for MicroFish. You just need a tank extremely good is the problem. Zen getting 2, Zen getting 3. This is why he's one of the best supports in Overbots right there. He just got a 4K. He does just fall over though in fights if he's all alone like this. And he will. Yep, not a very close map at all, unfortunately, for MicroFish. A couple takeaways here is your team is not going to excel against teams with lots of tankiness because even with the Zen and stuff, you just don't have the damage to deal with tanks very quick because Tracer and Genji aren't exactly the bots. Like, the bots aren't exactly the best at dealing damage sometimes. The heroes are usually great with Zen, but then maybe Brig lacking a little bit of damage there. So that will be a 3-0 going down in the annals of Overbots. Doubt anyone's going to want to watch this match outside of maybe MicroFish or LogiSwords to see what could change in their squad. But that was a very quick one.